Right. Oh, we get there again, don't we? I don't know. So, buenos días.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Buenos
Buenos
días.
días, señoras y señoras. Bienvenidos a la lección 15 de la clase de español. So sometimes I say to you, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes I say, buenos días a todos. Good morning, everybody. And I use the masculine todos because that's the correct thing to do in Spanish, not the feminine todas, even though there are more women than there are men in this class. So I ask myself, is that fair? Well, I think Spain's a country where feminism still has to really take root, but there are some green shoots. Some activists are trying to change the language, which they reckon is inherently sexist. And if I had to give an honest view, they're probably right. Todos does mean everybody. And even if it was referring to one man and 99,000 women, I've said here, you would say todos, because one man trumps 99,000 women. If it was just 99,000 women, no men, you would say todas. And
Have very good eyesight, though, wouldn't you?
You would, yes. A lot of people think this is unfair, and they've started to say todos y todas when it's a mixed group. And there's also been a push to adopt a gender neutral version, todes. I know this is very confusing. It's the last thing we want to happen when we're trying to learn Spanish. We've not even learnt the language yet, and they're trying to change it. It's a bit annoying. So we needn't worry, because the RAE, the Real Academia Española, which is the group that governs the rules around the Spanish language, last year blocked any change. They said, no, we're going to keep it as it is. I didn't think it was such a wacky idea, because there is a gender neutral version of lots of words in Spanish. Eso and esto are ones that spring to mind. So it's not such a wacky idea. And I don't think the issue is going to go away. A lot of people now are not listening to what the RAE is saying, and they're just adopting different words. So you may hear todos y todas, todes. The one with an X might be seen in writing, and the one with the at symbol might also be seen in writing. If you subscribe to any young people type blogs or pages, then you may come across those. So that's the usual digression over with. Today we're going to go shopping, and I want to start by correcting a mistake. When I sent the notes round, I said vamos a ir de comprar. To go shopping is ir de compras, not ir de comprar. I realised I'd made a mistake just as I was clicking on the send button. So it was one of those annoying things that happen to me all the time. So when we visit Spain, we often do a little bit of shopping. So obviously, if we're self-catering, we'll shop for groceries, but we probably do that in the supermarket, and we probably just wander around picking up things and put them in our trolley and then go to checkout, just like we do in England. There's no there's no need to have any kind of dialogue with anybody in the shop at all until you get to the cashier, and then a quick buenos dias and adios, and that's probably all you need to worry about. But sometimes we'll go to a local shop, sometimes we'll go to a market, sometimes we'll do clothes shopping, and so I think it's a good idea to sort of take a few, learn a few helpful phrases. I did send a couple of, I did send links to a couple of videos in the notes from a YouTube Spanish class called Spanish and Go, which is run by a Mexican girl called Mai and an American guy called Jim and Mai. And those two cover supermarket shopping, and the second one covers clothes shopping. So, okay, our dog's just getting dragged out for a walk. She was nice.
Wants to go or not.
She was fast asleep by the radiator. She got up and wagged her tail, so she's quite happy for a run in the snow. So hopefully people have had a chance to look at those. If you haven't, do take a look. It's quite useful stuff. And there was also some general vocab sheets which they helpfully included. I think I included those, didn't I? Did I? Yep. Yeah. So we can you can take a look at those. I think the first thing I'd say is when you go into a shop in Spain or in Latin America, I think this is true of a lot of places in Europe as well. It's bad manners just to walk in and not say hello. So I think it's quite good to engage with the shopkeeper. We don't always do this in the UK, but wish them good morning or good afternoon. And unless you're familiar with the shopkeeper, unless you know them or you go in there a lot and you're on sort of nodding terms, use formal speech. Buenos dias, señor, or buenas tardes, señora. Gets you off on the right foot. And when you leave, be sure to say thank you and goodbye. Gracias, hasta pronto would be fine. And if you want to, que tenga un buen día. Have a nice day. If there's more than one of them, que tengan un buen día. So we've got some verbs to take shopping with us. We know a few of these. Some of them very familiar. We've learned how to conjugate a lot of these already. There may be I'm sure there are one or two new ones in here. Querer, of course, to want is going to be absolutely essential for shopping. And don't forget, quiero means I want. Quiero dos manzanas, por favor. I want 2 apples, please. But if you want to soften it a little bit, use quisiera. I would like 2 apples. It's fine to say quiero, but quisiera is a little bit nicer for some of us for the English. And another verb which is useful for shoppers is tener. You okay, Ian? Are you having trouble hearing us, or are you?
No, I'm fine. Sorry, okay. We're having trouble with our other laptop for the second.
Right. Yeah.
For Marilyn, that's all.
We'll get budge up a bit and let Marilyn sit next to you. That's what.
Yeah. I think we'll have to. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
Tener to have. Tiene means do you have? It means you have, but you just need to put the inflection on there. Tiene, do you have? And that's the formal again, of course. If it's a larger store and you're speaking to a sales assistant rather than the owner, it's common to use the you plural formal. So tienen. Just like we would, I suppose, if we went into John Lewis and we said, "Do you have any of these things?" Whatever it is, you'd be referring to the store as a whole rather than the sales assistant. Whereas if you went into a corner shop and said, "Do you have any?" you'd be addressing the sales assistant or probably the owner. Now, of course, it doesn't matter in English because it's exactly the same. Do you have any? But in Spanish, there is a distinction in the conjugation. So you plural, tienen. I'd use that if I was in a big store and asking for something. Comprar, I don't think we've done comprar before, but it's a regular AR verb. So it's pretty easy to conjugate. And we often use it in the infinitive. You know, I want to buy something, you'd say, quiero comprar, whatever it is. In my example here, quiero comprar unas manzanas. I want to buy some apples. So often used in the infinitive, but it's a regular AR verb, so we can conjugate that fairly easily in the present tense. Buscar, I think this is another new verb. Buscar, and again, it is a regular AR verb. Means to search, but it can also mean to find or to look for. So if you're just window shopping and you wander into a shop, the shop assistants may say, "¿Qué estás buscando?" What you looking for? And if you're not looking for anything, you're just having a nosy round, you can say, "Nada, solo estoy buscando, gracias." Nothing. I'm just looking, thanks. So you could also use there to see. Solo estoy viendo, you may say, but for some reason they don't use mirar, which means to look or to watch. So don't say solo estoy mirando. It means I'm only watching, which sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Buscar's a good one, especially for warding off shop assistants when they're trying to sell you something. Solo estoy buscando, gracias, is one that you should learn. Dar, to give, is useful. Now, we normally use this one in the imperative mood when we're telling somebody to give us something. So you could say, we'll stick in the formal. You could say deme or mede, to give me. Deme un barra de pan, por favor. Give me a loaf of bread, please. It sounds a bit rude. It sounds a bit rude to me, but they do say it's obviously not considered rude in Spain or in Spanish-speaking countries. And if you know the person well, dame or me da, but normally they'd hook the pronoun on the end. When you have a verb in the infinitive, of course, you can always hook the pronoun on the end. But when you have a conjugated verb in the imperative, you can also hook the pronoun on the end, provided it's an affirmative. If you're telling somebody not to do something, you can't. Lord knows why, just one of those quirks of the language. I'm sure there's a very good reason somewhere back in the depths of Latin, but I don't know what that is. So deme is a good little phrase to use when you're out shopping. And also decir. If you're asking where something is or how much something is, you can use decir. So you could say, me dice a cómo están las naranjas. Can you tell me where the oranges are? Or puede decirme cuánto cuestan las naranjas? How much? Can you tell me how much the oranges are? In a small shop where the shopkeeper's actually serving you rather than self-service, you don't get many of those now, do you? But when it's your turn to be served, the shopkeeper may say dígame. This is the formal imperative form of decir, and it's diga. So you can hook the pronoun on the end, dígame. And what he's saying basically is, tell me, speak to me, tell me. Again, it sounds a bit rude, but it isn't meant to be rude. Often, if you ring somebody up in Spain, a Spanish speaker, they'll pick the phone up and say, dígame. So it's just a way of kicking off a conversation. And the answer is ask him for whatever you want. The informal is di. So if you're speaking to a friend, you can say dime. And the other verb we probably should have in our minds is poner, to put. And we can say ponga is the imperative. Póngame dos manzanas, por favor. Put me 2 apples, please. Again, it sounds a bit odd in the literal translation, but the meaning is clearly, it's a bit of shorthand for stick us a couple of apples in the bag, please. That's what you're communicating to them effectively. Póngame. And informal ponme, if you get to know the shopkeeper very well. Póngame is quite an easy one. I find these words that sound a bit odd. Póngame does sound a bit odd, doesn't it? I find them easier to remember, so they kind of stick in my head. So that's definitely one to use. Okay, we've got. I gave you a huge list of nouns to learn. So I wonder how well you've done with them. Shall we go through class? Poor old Ian's at the top of the I don't know why you often end up at the top of the list, Ian.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
No
these are nice and easy. So I reckon you'll get most of these, all of these. Let's be confident. What do you reckon? Can you give the Spanish word for those?
Vino.
Yep.
Yeah. Ham is jamon.
Jamon. Yep.
Oil is oily, for how you pronounce it.
Aceite.
Uge.
Yeah.
Leche.
Leche is milk. Yeah.
Pan is bread. Uvers is eggs. Queso is cheese. Azure is rice. I don't know what biscuits are though.
Galleta.
Lascietta.
Yeah. So eggs are huevos.
Huevos.
Yeah. Cheese, QU in Spanish is always a hard K, so it's not queso or it's a very hard queso. Queso is cheese. Good. And whoops. So well done, Ian. Wine, el vino. Obviously, if it's white wine, vino blanco. Vino tinto is red wine, bizarrely, not vino rosso. And vino rosado for rosé. Though I very rarely drink rosé. Ham, jamón. Aceite is oil. Aceite de oliva is olive oil. Milk, you're quite right. Leche, la leche. And just like the UK, there's whole milk, semi-skimmed, and skimmed milk. So if you're looking at the milk in the supermarket, I think the tops are different colours in Spain than they are in the UK. I think whole milk might even have a red top, whereas that's skimmed here, isn't it? I'm not dead sure about that, but I'm pretty sure they're different colours. So have a look at the bottle Leche entera is whole milk. Leche semi-descremada is semi-skimmed, and leche descremada is skimmed milk. Literally milk without cream. Bread is el pan. A loaf of bread, una barra de pan. And in Latin America, pan de molde. Sliced bread, pan rebanado. Eggs are huevos. Queso is cheese. Goat cabra. And a sheep is oveja. So you may see queso cabra, which would be goat's cheese. Las galletas, biscuits, and arroz is rice. Well done.
Just a query on that, Eric. Are you saying on vino, are you saying Beano or Vino?
Vino or Beano? Is that right?
Yeah, pronunciation. Because I have an argument with my missus over this because she keeps telling me says it's Beano, not Vino.
Yeah. If you said vino to a Spaniard, they'd hear Beano. And if you said Beano to a Spaniard, they'd hear Beano. The Spanish ear doesn't detect the difference between a B and a V.
Right.
So I reckon you can say either. My daughter-in-law says we just can't tell the difference. Our ears aren't trained to tell the difference. And they do sound quite the same in English, don't they? You really have to put your teeth on your lips to make your the sound, but it often comes out like b. I know when I was a reporter, I used to back in the days before computers and email and things like that, we used to have to ring in from various places and get to the copy desk, and a typist at the other end would take down the story that you were dictating, and you had to use the phonetic alphabet quite a bit. So V was always, is it B for Bertie or V for Victor? We didn't have the modern phonetic alphabet then, so it was Victor or Bertie, and they always wanted clarification. The Spaniards don't care, so you could, if you're happy saying vino, they'll
Don't understand.
they'll understand. If you want to say vino, they'll understand as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I tend to say the when it's at the front of a word, but when it's in the middle of a word like avenue, I tend to say avenida. It just seems easier for me to say it like that, but it doesn't really matter is the answer.
Okay, thank you.
So potatoes are las patatas in Spain. If you go to Latin America, it's papas. Butter is mantequilla. Harina is flour. Azúcar, sugar. Miel, honey. Peanut butter is peanuts, mani. So la mantequilla de mani is peanut butter. Tea bags are las bolsas de té, and coffee is el café. Did somebody have their hand up or have a question? I heard a ping, which generally no, nobody. Okay. So yeah, mantequilla. That's another one I always remember. Once when I was on some granddaughter sitting duties when Lucy had just started her master's degree, I used to go and look after Julia, who was about 18 months old, for the day while Lucy got on with her university stuff. And Tesco at Baldock was a big attraction for us because it had a coffee shop and you could wheel around. And they always gave, at the time, they used to give you free fruit for children. So I always used to nip into Tesco for a couple of hours and give Julia a banana, buy a few things. So I said, Lucy had got a shopping list, and I said, I'll do this for you. And she gave it to me, and I didn't look at it until I was in the shop. And then, of course, it was all in Spanish. So I had to work out what everything was. I managed everything except mantequilla, which is butter. And I had to look that one up. So it's stuck in my mind. I'll never forget.
Could I just ask about tea bags?
Sorry, Lorraine. Yeah.
Could I ask about tea bags? It's Las Bolsas de Té. Is it got the S on the end? Is it?
Yeah, I think it should have an S on the end, really, because it's everything gets pluralized. But I tend to say bolsas de té, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody's going to be grumpy if you miss the S off when you're talking about tea bags. Bolsa de té, yeah, tea bag.
Eric. Eric.
Yes, Amanda.
You're breaking up quite badly. Did anybody else hear okay, or is it now?
No,
it's breaking up for me too.
It's breaking up here.
Oh dear. Is everybody on mute? Or if everybody goes onto mute, hopefully that will improve things. I think everybody is on mute now. Is that any better? It's not. No. Let me just see if my son's on the internet. He might. No, I can't blame Tom. It's not his fault. He's not around. So I don't know what's best to do, really. Is it really annoying? I guess it is. What should we do?
But we can't hear you. We can hear you, but it is just annoying. Yeah.
It's livable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's press on. We'll keep
Cleared now.
It's better now. Yeah, it's clear.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, we'll push on and see what happens. So, we've had a shuffle round, and the next one on my list is Lorraine. So, Lorraine, can you tell me what these are, please? in Spanish. I know what they are in. You're muted at the moment, obviously, Lorraine. So that's
Sorry.
That's it.
Las uvas.
Yep.
Las naranjas. Las manzanas. Las platanas. A limon and a limon verde.
Yeah, very
Is
good.
that right?
Yeah, it's very good, very good. So uvas or uvas doesn't matter. Naranjas, manzanas, plátanos. There's a stress on the a in plátanos. So make sure you get the stress. Normally comes at the end of the word or the penultimate, but here it's on the a. So plátanos. Lemons, los limones, and you have they don't have a word for lime like we do, so they call them green lemons, limon verde. There's umpteen different lemons in Latin America. If you go there's about 5 different lemons, and they have sweet ones and extra sour ones, and lemons for cooking, lemons for different things. So that's far too confusing. I've not got into that. Onions. Let's carry on with our veg. Cebollas. Garlic is ajo. Lettuce. I like this word. Lechuga. Carrots. Zanahorias. Cucumber. It's a bit of an odd one, cucumber. It sounds like a pepper, pepina, but pepino is a cucumber. And a pepper is pimiento. If it's a chili pepper, they'd call it ají. So pimiento is the peppercorns. Oh, Carl, what about these? Can you do us a translation? Traducción?
Is meat. Bistec is beef steak.
Yep.
Serrano. Can't think of.
Cerdo is pork.
Cerdo. Cordero. Don't know that one.
Cordero, lamb.
Yeah. Lamb. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's ham.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. Salchicha. I don't know that one either.
Okay.
So no was the answer to that question.
So la carne is it means meat. It generally refers to beef. You may see carne de vaca, which is vaca is a cow. But if you just see carne, it generally means it's beef. Bistec is a beef steak. Cerdo, pork. Cordero, lamb. Jamón is ham. So there's different types of ham, just like there are here. So the stuff that you get here, sort of boiled ham, sliced up, they call it jamón de York, which obviously comes from our York ham. The better stuff is jamón serrano, or the really good stuff is pata negra, which I think is ham made from boar, wild boar, and costs a fortune. Salchicha is a sausage, which is a nice word, salchicha. Chorizo. If you want to know how to say chorizo, it's chorizo, not a th. Hígado is liver. And obviously, you can get hígado vaca, cerdo, or oveja. Tongue, disgusting stuff. Lengua, and lengua del buey is ox tongue. They eat a lot of that in Ecuador, and it's horrible. It's not to my taste, I should say. Pavo is turkey, el pavo, and el pollo, or pollo, is chicken. Now, it's a common joke, this, and they say everybody does it at some time. There's another word that's very close to chicken, but it doesn't mean chicken, and a lot of Spanish speakers fall foul of this. The ending of a word is really important in Spanish, always. But in this case, pollo with an O at the end is chicken, but polla or polla means penis. So if you ask for un bocadillo de pollo, it's a chicken sandwich, but it's quite easy to ask for a dick sandwich. Classic Brit mistake. And another common one is breast, chicken breast. So if you put breast into Google, it may come back with pecho. And people remember that, and they would ask for a pecho de pollo. That means chicken boobs. The butcher will have a good laugh at your expense. If you want a chicken breast, pechuga de pollo is what you need to ask for. Just a couple of small minefields, small mines that you might step on. But it's good to step on them because then you remember, and you also give the Spanish a good laugh as well, which is nice. Prawns, gambas, in Latin America, camarones, squid, calamar. You generally see calamari, which is just the plural. Octopus, pulpo. Tuna is el atún. Cod is a bacalao. Sardine, nice easy one to remember, sardina. Herring, arenque. Sea bass, you'll see in menus in restaurants. Lubina, la lubina. Oysters, las ostras. Mussels, mejillones. And scallops, pierres. So here's moving away from food and into household products. What have we got here? Paul, can you have a crack at those for us? Doing the translation? Whoops, just giving you the... So you need to unmute, Paul, that's it, yeah.
El liquido de lavado, washing up liquid.
Yeah.
El sabón, soap.
Yeah.
The pasta de dientes, toothpaste. El papel higiénico, I would think is loo roll.
Yeah.
El pepilo de dientes, toothbrush. El desodorante, a little deodorant.
Desodorante.
El shampoo, and shampoo condicionador, with shampoo and conditioner. Los panales is, I think it's nappies.
It is, yeah.
Last toallitas de cocina. I think we call it kitchen towel.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah, super. So just watch when you've got that squiggly thing over the top of your N. It's it has a different sound. It makes an N instead of a N sound. It makes it a N sound. So pañales. Yeah.
Okay.
So there we go. Cepillo is a brush, hairbrush, scalp brush, floor brush. It's all the same. Cepillo de dientes is a brush for the teeth. And toallitas de cocina is could be a kitchen towel, but it's also used for kitchen wipes. It's toallitas is little towels. Ita is makes it a diminutive, so it means small. So it's small towels for the kitchen, but it means kitchen wipes. A toalla or toalla de cocina would be a kitchen towel. Yeah. A jar. Let's look at some of the things that our food comes in. A jar can be un bote, un tarro, or un frasco. Bote is the one that I have always seen. A box is a caja, and a carton is caja de cartón. Cartón is cardboard, so it's a carton is literally cardboard box, but that could be a lot of boxes. Most boxes are made out of cardboard, aren't they? A tin is una lata. A packet, un paquete. A bag, una bolsa. A little bag, bolsita. A bottle, una botella. Whoops. Got my phone. Scared the dog who's come back from a walk. A loaf, una barra. And then we have measurements. Litro is nice and easy one to remember. Kilo is also nice and easy, as is los granos. A bunch, if you want to ask for a bunch of something, so a bunch of bananas is una mano de plátanos. So don't forget, so it's like a hand of bananas, which I think is how they pick them in the tropics. They call them hands. And mano is a feminine noun, despite ending in o. So una mano de plátanos. But a bunch of grapes, they don't talk about hand of grapes. They talk about racimo de uvas. And if you're talking about a bunch of flowers, una ramo de flores. So 3 different words for a bunch. I can see why they do something different for grapes and bananas, because they're a different shape, aren't they? So here's various words to describe the state of things. So Caroline, are you able to have a go at these? Caroline Ingram?
Yeah, well, the only one without looking I could get would be red, which would be rojo,
Right.
green, verde,
Yeah.
yellow, oh, yellow, can't remember. Sweet, is that dulce?
Yeah.
Dulce, and the rest I'd have to look at. Sorry.
Okay. Let's put them up on the screen. These are worth learning, because you may want to, particularly if you're at the market, you may want to ask for if something is ripe. If you're like me, I hate green bananas, so I always like my bananas ripe or overripe. Some people like them underripe. So inmaduro. Maduro is ripe. Inmaduro is unripe. Rojo or roja, that depends on the gender of the noun that it's describing. So make sure the gender agrees with the noun. Verde is the same, whether it's describing a masculine or a feminine noun. Amarillo or amarillo is also amarilla. Dulce for sweet. Agrio for sour. Crisp, crujiente. Sort of sounds a bit onomatopoeic, that, doesn't it? Sounds a bit crisp. And savoury, again, slight onomatopoeic there. Sabroso, savoury. Sabroso, it sounds tasty, doesn't it? So we have here 6 lists. Have we got 6 lists? No, I've got 4 lists. So 6 ripe tomatoes, a dozen large eggs, 2 packets of butter, a bottle of red wine, 2 litres of milk. Should we have a look at? Should we have a look at what those are? Let me just give you a couple of minutes to decide what they are, and then we'll go through them. Yeah. Okay, what do we get for that? Apple, what have you got on your shopping list, on your Spanish shopping list?
Okay, so I've got 6 tomatos maduras, una docena de huevos grandes, 2 paquetes de mantequilla, 2 botellas de vino tinto.
Yeah.
Dos litros, dos litros de leche.
Yeah, muy bien. I only wanted one bottle of red wine, but
Oh, did you?
you'll
Oh, I
always,
knew you need
you'll always
to.
get through. You'll always get through two, won't you?
Right.
That's not a problem. Good. Let's have a look at this one. Let's. I think we've got time just to give. Yeah, we have to give everybody a wee bit of thinking time, and then we'll go through that. Excuse me. Right, how about list 2? What do you think of this, Giselle? Are you able to give us a rundown here?
Okay. Una lechuga crujiente, un bota de miel, una caja de bolsas de tés, una barra de pan, el ajo, una botella de aceite de oliva.
Muy bien, muy bien. And list 3, we have to translate this, and that's a lot easier, isn't it? Richard and Maya, what can you translate my Spanish list into what you might get in Waitrose? I know I can see your Waitrose shoppers just by looking at you.
More like Aldi. 200 grams of Manchego cheese.
Yeah.
A packet of biscuits. Tin of tuna.
Yep.
Full-size bag. Oh, a bag of flour with baking powder.
Yeah, self-raising flour.
Self-raising flour.
Yeah.
And a liter of semi-skimmed milk.
Yeah, very good, excellent. Well done. I think we're coming to the end of our lesson. So so we'll just run through these. 5 cebollas, 5 onions. Una mano de plátanos maduro is a bunch of ripe bananas. Una sandía grande. Sandía is one of those.
Should that be maduros?
It should be maduros. Yes, it should be a bunch of ripe bananas. You're absolutely right, Adrian. Thank you for that.
What you should have said was it's the bunch that's ripe, not the bananas.
Well, no, I think you're absolutely right. It should be a bunch of ripe bananas. So the adjective always has to agree with the noun in plural, singular, masculine, feminine. A sandia is I'm disappointed you didn't notice that last year, Adrian, because I could have put it right. But I'll correct it. I'll correct it this year. I'll draw a ring around it now, so I don't forget. Sandia is one of those big red watermelons. So a large watermelon. Aguacate is avocado. I'll think of the word in English then for a minute. Los quiero muy maduros. So I want them very ripe. 4 peras amarillas is 4 yellow pears. Una pepina, not a pepper, it's a cucumber. Una coliflor is cauliflower. 6 melocotones. Melocotone is peaches, I think. I'm not dead sure about that, actually.
Yes, it is.
Is it? Great, thank you. 3 pueros. Pueros leeks. I'm not, again, pueros leeks. Kilo y medio.
Yes, yeah, they are.
Kilo and a half of potatoes. Una botella de sidra. Sidra is cider, drunk quite a lot in northern Spain. And una piña is pineapple. Good.
Eric,
Yes,
I think number 6. I think number 6 is El Pepino.
Is what? Pepino.
Un pepino. I think.
I think you're probably right. You generally are, Adrian. It's yeah, pepino, El Pepino. So it should be un pepino. Now that's funny because I've got una pepina in my PowerPoint and uno pepino in my notes. So I've obviously corrected the notes but not put the PowerPoint right. Sorry about that. So often we'll want to ask how much something is. And the way we do that is to say, quanto cuesta? Literally means how much. Quanto cuesta? And then you can say whatever it is you want to know. So, quanto cuesta la manzana is how much is the apple? And if you want to know how much something is in plural, how much are the apples, you need to say cuestan instead of cuesta. So, cuánto cuestan las manzanas? How much are the apples? What you might also want to say is, can I pay by card? Puedo pagar con tarjeta de crédito is credit card. Tarjeta, it tends to be just tarjeta now, just like it is in England. Can I pay by card? But tarjeta de crédito is the credit card. You may be told, no tiene que pagar en efectivo, especially if you're in Latin America. They want cash. Efectivo is cash. So next week, we're going to go shopping for clothes. For your homework this week, I want you to make a list of clothes. Have a look through your wardrobe and make a list of the things you've got, and then whatever it is in Spanish. And don't forget, being Spanish, we need to know whether your trousers are masculine or feminine, and whether your dress is masculine or feminine. It being an item of women's clothing doesn't always guarantee that it's feminine, annoyingly. So that's everything for this week. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope the quality of the audio improved a little bit during the course of the lesson. I don't know what went wrong in there. We probably had a pigeon on the line. You know what it's like out here in the sticks. Our internet's not always very good. So thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you all next week. I did want to say that I'm trying something a little bit different. There's a website we've used a lot. I use it quite a bit for research, called SpanishDict.com, and I have recommended it if you want to do check verb conjugations and things like that. They've started a new thing where they've got some lessons, and they combine with Google Classroom. So I want to give it a bit of a try, just to set little bits of homework. I think it's quite good because I think it will work interactively. So you can have a list of, might help learning lists of words, which are always a pain to try to get into your head. So I might send, I probably will, I'll send a note round in the next week with an invite to join Google Classrooms. And I think it's fairly easy to do. I've got a guinea pig working on it at the moment. She's not come back and said it's a nightmare yet. She might do, and I might rethink it if that's the case. But looking at it, it seems quite good. So we might give that a go. I'll send around an invitation. Like all these things, it's not compulsory, but it may be a good way to help get some of these more difficult words to learn into our heads, and we'll give that a go. Anyway, I'll let you know, and you can join up if you want to. Thanks very much. Nice to see everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you all next week. Yeah.
Adios.
Adios.
Adios. Adios. Ciao.
Hasta la vista.
Ciao, ciao.